Chapter 10. Another fortnight passed. Ivan Ilych now no longer left his sofa. He would not lie in bed, but lay on the sofa, facing the wall, nearly all the time. He suffered ever the same unceasing agonies in his loneliness, pondered always on the same insoluble question. What is this? Can it be that it is death? The inner voice answered, yes, it is death. Why these sufferings? The voice answered, for no reason. This was so. Beside this, there was nothing. From the very beginning of his illness, ever since it had first been to see the doctor, Ivan Ilych's life has been divided between two contrary and alternating modes. Now it was despair at the expectation of this uncomprehended and terrible death, and now hope and an intently interested observation of the functioning of his organs. Now before the eyes there was only a kidney or the intestine that temporarily invaded its duty, and now only that incomprehensible and dreadful death from which it was impossible to escape. These two states of mind and alternated from the very beginning of his illness, but the further it progressed, the more doubtful and fantastic became the conception of the kidney, and the more real the sense of impending death. He had but to call to mind what it had been 3 months before, and what it was now, to call to mind with what regularity it had been going downhill, for every possibility of hope to be shattered. Lately, during the loneliness in which he found himself, as he lay facing the back of the sofa, a loneliness in the midst of a populous town and surrounded by numerous acquaintances and relations that yet could not have been more complete anywhere, either at the bottom of the sea or under the earth. During that terrible loneliness, Ivan Ilyich had lived only in memories of the past. Pictures of the past rose before him one after another. They always began with what was nearest in time, and then went back to what was most remote, to his childhood, and rested there. If he thought of this stewed prawns that had been offered him that day, his mind went back to the raw, shriveled French prawns of his childhood, their peculiar flavor and the flow of sava when he sucked the stones, and along which the memory of that taste came a whole series of memories of those days. His nurse, his brother, and their toys. No, I mustn't think of that. It's too painful, Ivan Ilyich said to himself, and brought himself back to the present, to the button on the back of the sofa and the creases. It's miracle. Miracle is expensive, but does not wear well. There had been no quarrel about it. It was a different kind of quarrel and a different kind of miracle that time, when we tore father's portfolio and were punished, and Mama brought us some tarts. And again his thoughts dwelt on his childhood. And again it was painful, and he tried to banish them and to fix his mind on something else. Then again, together with that chain of memories, another series passes through his mind of how his illness and progress that grew worse. The also the further back that he looked, the more life had been, there had been more of what was good in life and more of life itself. The two merged together. The sense of pain went on, getting worse and worse, so my life grew worse and worse, he thought. There's one bright spot there at the back in the beginning of life, and afterwards all becomes blanker and blanker and proceeds more and more rapidly in inverse ratio to the square of the distance from death, thought Ivan Ilyich. And the example of a stone fallen downwards with increasing velocity entered his mind. Life, a series of increasing sufferings, flies further and further towards its end. The most terrible suffering, I am flying. He shuddered, shifted himself, and tried to resist. But it was already aware that resistance was impossible, and again, with eyes weary of gazing, but unable to cease seeing what was before them, he stared at the back of the sofa and waited, then dreadful fall and shock and destruction. Resistance is impossible, he said himself. If I could only understand what it's all for. But then too it's impossible. Explanation would be possible. It could be said that I have not lived as I ought to. But it is impossible to say that. I remember all the legality, correctitude, proprieties of life. That at any rate can certainly not be admitted, he thought. His lips smiled ironically, as if someone could see that smile and be taken in by it. There's no explanation. Agony, death. What for?